The Fall of a Legacy, a tale of revenge and ruin. This story takes place in a village in Punjab during the pre-independence era when India was under British rule. It was narrated to me by my late grandfather and speaks of enmity, treachery, revenge, and the downfall of a once prosperous family. Lal Singh, my great-grandfather's brother, was a wealthy and well-respected farmer. He had 3 sons, Bhagat Singh, Jagat Singh, and Teja Singh. The family owned nearly 70 acres of fertile land, a sign of prosperity in those times. Bhagat Singh was ambitious and left the village in the 1930s in search of better opportunities, eventually sailing to China, where he made a fortune in the silk trade. Jagat Singh, the second son, was a strikingly handsome man, admired by the women of the village. The youngest, Teja Singh, was the complete opposite, lazy and addicted to opium and other intoxicants. For a while, the family thrived, with Bhagat Singh's earnings from China supporting their growing wealth. But tragedy struck suddenly. One day, news arrived that Bhagat Singh had been poisoned by his business partner. Soon after, Lal Singh, the head of the family, died in a freak accident, falling from his horse and breaking his neck. With no strong figure left to guide them, the once flourishing household was left in the hands of 2 ill-equipped brothers, Jagat Singh, the carefree ladies' man, and Teja Singh, the addict. Within a month, the family's downfall had begun. In British-ruled India, the justice system was swift, especially in criminal matters. Cases of theft, dacoity, and murder were rare, and a conviction for murder almost always resulted in a death sentence. In 1939, the entire village was shaken when Jagat Singh's mutilated body was found on the Amritsar-Attari railway tracks. At first glance, it appeared to be a suicide or an accident. However, whispers soon spread through the village, suggesting that his death was no accident. It was murder. The rumors pointed to a prominent Jagat Singh family as the perpetrators. The police conducted an inquiry, but with no witnesses, they ruled it a suicide and closed the case. Meanwhile, a secret meeting took place in the village. Among those gathered were my grandfather's younger brother, Jagat Singh, the deceased's brother, Teja Singh, and a close family friend, Bal Singh. As they sat drinking country liquor, they discussed how to reclaim the family's honor. But why was Jagat Singh murdered? The truth emerged one evening when a villager named Jagat Singh, in a drunken stupor, let slip what many had only speculated. Jagat Singh, known for his charm, had entangled himself with multiple women in the village. His fatal mistake was an affair with the young bride of a prominent landowner, Gurtez Singh. One fateful evening, Gurtez returned from his fields earlier than expected and caught his wife in a compromising position with Jagat Singh. Jagat fled, but Gurtez, humiliated and enraged, vowed to take revenge. Winter had set in when the opportunity presented itself. One night, as Jagat Singh went to water his fields, he bent down to open the water channel. Hiding behind a tree was Gurtez, armed with a shovel. Without warning, he struck Jagat on the head. Though injured, Jagat, strong from years of wrestling and kabaddi, managed to push Gurtez away and fled towards his hut. As he ran, he encountered his trusted friend, Jagat Singh, who was carrying an axe. Breathless, Jagat recounted what had happened. Jagat, feigning loyalty, urged him to return and confront Gurtez. "Let's finish this once and for all," Jagat said. "I'll stand by you. No one dares touch you when I'm here." Reassured, Jagat agreed. As he bent down once more to open the water channel, Jagat raised his axe and delivered a vicious blow to the back of his head. Stunned, Jagat turned, his voice barely a whisper. "Jagat, why, you were my fright—" Before he could finish, Jagat and Gurtez attacked him repeatedly, ensuring his death. They wrapped his body in gunny sacks, loaded it onto a bullock cart, and transported it 15 kilometers away to the Amritsar-Attari railway line. As the Amritsar-Lahore train thundered past at 11 p.m., they laid his body on the tracks, disguising the murder as an accident. By morning, the news spread. A young man about 30 years old had been cut to pieces by the train. The secret meeting between Teja Singh, Jagat Singh, and Bal Singh concluded with a single resolution: Gurtez and Jagmit must die. Only then would the family's honor be restored. On a bitterly cold night in December 1939, the three men broke into Gurtez's house through a wooden window. In the dim light, they saw three people sleeping, and assuming one was Gurtez, they struck. But fate played a cruel trick. Gurtez wasn't home that night. The man they killed was his father, 80-year-old Buddha Singh. A woman in the house woke up and screamed, "Bali, Teju Vadgai! Bal Singh and Teja Singh have murdered him." The three fled into the fields, but by morning the police had arrived. Within days, they were arrested and charged with premeditated murder. Their case was tried in the Lahore Sessions Court, where the British judge, His Lordship Chamber, found them guilty and sentenced them to death by hanging. The verdict devastated our family. My grandfather, Natha Singh, was shattered. His brother Katha Singh and cousin Teja Singh faced execution. He knew he had to act. An illiterate man who spoke only Punjabi, he ran from one lawyer's doorstep to another pleading for help. He filed an appeal in the Lahore High Court, determined to save them. It is said that money can buy justice. My grandfather sold nearly all of the family's land, almost 70 acres, and spent a fortune on the case. He hired the best lawyers and bribed witnesses. Even members of Gurtez's household were paid off. When the appeal was heard in the High Court, the same witnesses who had initially testified against Teja, Bal, and Katha now changed their statements. They claimed they had been unable to recognize the attackers due to poor lighting. The crucial phrase that had damned them, Bali, Teju Vadgai, was conveniently misinterpreted as Chor Bari Vadgai. The thieves have broken in. With reasonable doubt established, the judge had no choice but to acquit them. Exactly 2 years after their arrest, they walked free. My grandfather had won the legal battle, but the family had paid a terrible price. Once an influential clan that owned a third of the village, we were now left with barely 10 acres of land. Feeding a household of over 50 people became a daily struggle. The land was gone, the wealth was gone, but revenge had been served. This is the story of how a proud and prosperous family fell, not at the hands of fate, but through the weight of its own choices, of love, betrayal, and the unrelenting thirst for vengeance. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories.